One year, I think it was about 1994 or perhaps 95, 94, 95, I visited Vrindavan, and that time, for some reason, just as I'm about to leave, I get the desire to have darshan of Vrindadevi. But I'm in the middle of Vrindavan, and of course getting out to Vrindakund is quite a journey. And so I started asking around, well, does anybody know a temple where there's a murti of Vrindadevi? And you know, over there, backside, Seva Kunj, blah 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 blah. And so I kind of go and I kind of stumble into this place. You know, there are some really, really beautiful deities there, and then around the corner comes my old friend Nanda Kishore, not Nanda Kishore, Narada Muni, sorry, and who later went on to become Nanda Kishore, who then later also transformed again alchemically under Gurudev's guidance into Bhaktivedanta Tridandi Maharaj, who I think of very fondly as a good friend and as something of a Shiksha Guru. So, you know, I'm standing there and having darshan, and we see each other, we exchange hellos and pranams, and I said, whose place is this? And he says, oh, this is Narayan Maharaj's temple. And I said, well, who's that? And I didn't really know, although unknown to me, I had actually met Gurudev many, many years ago, many, many years before that, when I was on the pilgrimage to Vrindavan with Sudevi, my one-year-old daughter, at the time, and we were in what is well known by most people who have kids, the baby bubble. And so we kind of, I wanted to have darshan of the deities at Mathura Math, because Srila Prabhupada, my Diksha Guru, he gave the Mahaprabhu deity that's in Mathura Math to Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. I had met Gurudev very briefly at the time. They brought me to his room with Sudevi and with Pandita, and you know, Gurudev, he didn't speak English very much at the time, and he looked at me and he said, how's your bhajan? And I said, well, look, you know, I've got a one-year-old, and that was just an exchange with someone who I thought was just, you know, the sadhu in residence. I didn't really understand who he was, but going forward a number of years, maybe about probably 4 years later, I meet Tridandi Maharaj, and he tells me this is Gurudev's mat. So I said, oh, very good, who's he? And he tells me the whole story about how Gurudev gave my Srila Prabhupada his samadhi. And so I become interested naturally in that. I wasn't there for that, as I told you. We weren't allowed to go, but hey ho, that's life. And so I said, well, Srila Prabhupada told us that, you know, as householders, we should always be available to traveling sadhus and give them hospitality. So at the time I had a kind of a pretty big house, nice Georgian house in the middle of Bath, and I gave Maharaj my business card and I said, well, if you know, if he wants, if you have need, he's more than welcome to come and stay. I can offer sponsorship or whatever. And when I left, and that was that. I had a nice meal, nice lunch prasad, and that was that. And so fast forward about 4, maybe 5 months later, I get an email from Tridandi Maharaj, are you still interested? Are you still, is that something that you can still do? So me being me, I was very enthusiastic, and I wrote back, said, yeah, that's great, yeah, let's have them come along. And Pandita, who I don't think will mind me saying this, was always my sensible better half, you know, as Lalita is. And so she kind of put the brakes on a little bit and said, who is this? You know, I mean, is he bona fide sadhu? So she said, get his birth details. Right, and so I wrote back and I said, yeah, okay, that's great, but you know, can I have his birth details? And somehow or another, they just gave them to me without any, apparently without any reservation. So then I did his chart and I was like, oh, wow. And so I sat down, and I remember the room that I did it in. I had a little tiny office at the time in the basement of this house that I had. And I think I wrote about 12 pages on an analysis of Gurudev's chart and who he is and what he would do, and you know, kind of a prediction of, you know, how important he is, you know, as a historic figure who at that time, I guess at least from a Western world point of view, had not been known, except maybe to a few devotees, like my godbrothers who were there at the, or who were a little bit smarter than me. So I was really enthusiastic, and then I told Pandita, I said, oh, you know, he's the real deal, you know, he's the real McCoy. And so fast forward then, again, another 5 or 6 months, maybe a little bit less, and he comes to England.
When I was 11, one time Gurudev came to Berlin for, I don't know for how many days he went there, but I just went for like the mid-weekend, that's how you call it, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think on Monday we went back home. All the devotees from Holland, we went driving different cars. Then we arrived before Gurudev arrived, and we helped organizing the hall and decorating. And then just at the moment he was gonna come, there were quite a few stairs. I think he had to walk at that time because there was no lift. And we were all waiting in front of the door for Gurudev, all the devotees. I was standing there. It was the second time I saw Gurudev, so I didn't really know Gurudev so well. And then Gurudev came up the stairs, we all did dandavats. Then one senior devotee from Holland, she was standing in front, and Gurudev went like this on her head. And I was thinking, oh, I also want that. And then Gurudev looked at me, and he also went like this. And then I was really impressed. I was really impressed because he knew what I was thinking.
Why?
Gave me a good slap. And it wasn't a very hard slap. He gave me a...
What happened?
something with some girl. And so he gave me a slap. He said, never give your heart to a woman. Something like that. Never fall in love with a woman. Stupid. I was like, okay, Gurudev. So, yeah, that was a good one. What else? Instructions. Gave me an instruction on Govardhan Hill. Nice instruction. We were all doing darshan of Govardhan, like right there on the hill, and we're walking back to that place. Is it Modi Bhavan we used to stay at? Yeah, walking back to Modi Bhavan. Or we were doing I can't remember what we were doing anyway. So I'm playing the gong, and he stops. He takes the gong off me. He says, "No, you don't play it like that. You play it like this." And the thing is, the gong has got a bit of string on it, right? He says you hold the string and you hit it like that. You don't hold the gong itself because it deadens the sound. You hold it like this and you go like ding, 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 ding. That's how you play the gong. And I was like, okay, that's good then. So he gave me instructions on how to play the gong. So that was nice.
Subtle things are there, you know, but I don't know, this is like, because some dreams or some things should be considered real. But that meeting also, when I really got a one vivid dream, you know, about one devotee. She always doing the book translation from Hong Kong Rita. And when Gurudev in Guangzhou, I had such a dream that I was embracing this devotee so much strongly. Never happened in real life, you know. Such excited, you know, exciting embrace. Like Gurudev want me to know, to acknowledge that's what she do, what she has done, you know, for the Sangha. Because I was always the preacher, always the, you know, someone on the stage, like externally doing everything. But she's doing the translation, the books, and Gurudev want me to acknowledge her endeavor and her, you know, her contribution to the Sangha. So in this dream, I was like, he was giving this message to me, you know, to acknowledge everybody's efforts and respect their efforts, their contributions, not only you and only, you know, yourself doing everything. So this is like his mercy, because we always get some inspiration, not directly, because not much time we can talk with him, you know, like 200 people, and also because the limitation of people for darshan. This is the request of the government, because they allow Gurudev to just in saffron, you know, to come to China. So they have some certain condition, you know, we have to observe, like not open class, like, you know, class, no class, only darshan, and each time only that many people. So we don't have so much like verbal communication with Gurudev. But you know, pure Vaishnava can give mercy in several ways, you know, by his glances, by his, you know, verbal like communication, and some by heart. So for our Sangha, I think for Chinese Sangha, Gurudev mainly by his glances, by his, you know, heart inspiration, you know, like this, give his blessings. He's fully blessed us. That's why we even after Gurudev experience, we are nicely taken care of, you know, by Premanand Prabhu and also other Vaishnavas, so much like care for the Chinese Sangha. So this is also Gurudev's blessings.